So we have yesterday's news for November 7th, 2022, aka the receipt. Welcome back. We are back at it with some more squats for no squat less than 1,000,000 pounds November, although more on that later in terms of how it's going and some other things. We are opening up with bench press plus a 1-arm overhead squat. A little bad angle on the first video. I think I back up the camera after this. These are actually quite difficult in order to just kind of maintain the positioning overhead, especially with the left arm. I really struggle a lot. I almost miss on one of these, and then I end up not doing. I planned on doing 8 sets, but instead I do 6 sets, and then I do 1 set of 10 squats with 115, which ends up being the highest volume set of the session, which is like, I think it's a 1/6 of my record largest volume squat, but you can see I'm trying to squat down as much as possible at the bottom, but again, there are inherent issues involved with having the asymmetrically loaded, but I actually really like this a lot as a movement in terms of working on asymmetric strength, which I think is really important and is very underutilized in strength sports because it's never tested in terms of the athletes. If you look at weightlifting and powerlifting, there is no test for asymmetric strength. There is in Strongman, but Strongman often does not test maximal strength. They often test, these walking movements and these loaded carries and these cardio-based things, and it's not pure strength in the way that powerlifting and weightlifting are. But powerlifting and weightlifting don't really test real-world practical strength because it's always symmetrically loaded conditions. So that's one reason I like these quite a bit. Also, it lets me kind of work my shoulders a little bit while I'm trying to mainly focus on squats. The important thing for this entire session is I did pass the 250,000 pound mark for no squat less than 1,000,000 pounds in November. And for me, this was a very important mark because for me it indicated that I really could do this, and it was, all the workouts have been getting, the past 3 workouts, each workout's been getting easier and easier to hit the volume. And for me, this has been both a good thing and a bad thing because, I came into this challenge with kind of 2 primary motivations, let's say. And the first was I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. This is kind of always something I've wanted to do. I talked about it, I think, last session quite a bit in terms of the history of it. Maybe it was 2 sessions ago. But I've always wanted to squat 1,000,000 pounds a month before, and it's always seemed like an impossible goal. And doing a 250,000 in just a week, it makes it seem very, very possible. And to me, especially considering that the workouts have been getting easier, this has been, unfortunately, it's just too easy to say, well, yeah, I could complete it if I wanted to. The second motivation actually has quite a lot to do with here on YouTube. I was under an impression that, it would make for fairly good clickbait to say I'm going to squat 1,000,000 pounds in November. And maybe it would for the final video, I guess. But so far, this has been considerably less violent than my usual type of workouts where I just do my own thing and just post just the clips from those. And so both of my big motivations for doing this have kind of gone away after, pimping this 250,000 pound in a week mark, which is nothing to scoff at by itself. I think that the first 250,000 is probably harder than the last 250,000 because I'm starting to make adjustments. Although you take a look here, my squats are a little on the high side. This is actually my first set. I'm trying to loosen up. The first set is just my legs are so tight here that I don't know how I loosen up because I can barely go up and down the stairs because I'm so tight, and then somehow I can still get into more of a squat position. But anyways, so I have these 2 motivations for doing this 1,000,000 squat challenge, 1,000,000 pound squat challenge, and they're not really that much anymore. I mean, my engagement on YouTube is basically non-existent, or it has been at the start of this. I suppose it would be really disappointing if I post this 7th day video, and then it gets a ton of views after I've taken a day off. I suppose maybe I'll come back to it or something like that. But I think that going forward, this is going to be kind of the end of the challenge for me. I, in my mind, demonstrated that I could do it, and I think that I really wanted to do a big sort of push for YouTube, but I don't think this is the area of ingress anymore, you know, because it just doesn't seem to move the needle at all in terms of engagement. Maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. Feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll choose the algorithm of this video. But in terms of like how it made me feel, this was a bit of a fun challenge. The first day and the second day were by far the worst. The first day was, I got home, I could barely move up and down the stairs. I have a couple flights of stairs in my house, and like I sat down at my computer desk, and sometime later I tried to get out, both my calves cramp up and I like just can't move. And I spent like a half hour trying to warm up my legs just so I can get up and get like a bar that's across the room that I know has some salt in it, will help with the cramping. You know, just really a lot of suffering, just legs are super tight, and just like can't sleep because the legs hurt so much. And a lot of this is starting to go away towards the end, and it's just been like more of a dull discomfort. And also, it went from thinking, yeah, I don't think this is possible to do this, but I'm going to give a crack at it anyways, to now I really think it's possible for me to do this, and somehow it appearing possible makes it a little less motivating. Go figure. Or an alternative thesis is just this workout routine has gotten the better of me, and this is my justification to myself, like this sort of explanation I've been giving, and really my mind is just giving out on my body here. That's perhaps another explanation. I don't know, well, I know which one I think is the case, but that certainly seems plausible to me. You know, I was very surprised with that my body could actually make adaptations to this. I was figuring I was just going to get steadily worse as the days went by, and my body would just not recover at all from any of this. And I was quite surprised when, you know, around day 4 felt easier than day 3. You know, day 1 felt really hard, and day 2 felt harder, and day 3 maybe felt harder than day 2. But after that, each day got easier. Day 4 was easier, day 5 was easier, day 6 was easier, day 7 was easier. Well, day 7 was actually kind of harder because I was not really feeling it. I just wanted to get through it and hit the 250,000 pound mark. Switching to my sets of 5 here. In terms of discomfort, my legs have just been tight, like completely tight for a week now. My joints hurt, although in an achy way, not a sharp pain type of way. You know, I think that's like kind of the big one. Sleep has been hard, which I've been surprised because I just want to sleep more so I can recover better. But my legs hurting, just like the muscles like constantly hurt. Has interfered with that. You know, I think around day 3, like my piss was pretty dark, and I thought I might get rhabdo, but then it like lightened the fuck up. So like, you know, that was less of a concern. I also tried to switch away from doing the higher volume, or the higher rep sets to the higher weight sets as a means to combat the rhabdo, and it seemed to work. In addition to, I just think my body was able to make adaptations, which is the wildest thing ever to me. You know, I'm 30 years old, and that I'm conditioned for doing singles. You know, I just came off of a max out, and I had a month to prepare, and I maybe had 6-7 prep workouts, you know, to try and like work up the volume. But like, I very much don't have the conditioning for this sort of thing. This is not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is doing singles, you know. And so that I was able to adapt to doing 30,000 pounds of squats a day. And to me, it's just like a crazy testament to the human body. How if you push yourself in a modality that you are very much not used to, your body will be able to make adaptations really quickly. Now, of course, pushing yourself in a modality you're not used to is also a really good way to get injured. So, like, I'm not necessarily advocating for it, but I'm just saying that the body's ability to adapt to it seems considerably more than I thought it would going into this challenge. Like, I was very confident I was going to bomb out of the challenge, and so it's very surprising to me to come in and not bomb out, not really not bomb out, but like I think pretty comfortably get to a 250,000. You know, it wasn't like was chopped up. I was unsure if I was recording or not. It might be chopped up but you can see depth is getting a little better. Depth is still a little high when I'm doing the high bar squat. I have a hard time finding depth in knee sleeves sometimes, in general, but I lost my train of thought. Yeah, just the body's adaptability. I don't know. If anyone, look, if I suddenly get a ton of engagement on this one particular video and people want me to come back and finish the challenge, I'll probably do it. Even though I didn't lift all of the 8th, I'm recording this on the 8th, and I'm sure I won't see any engagement on the 9th. So even though I will lose 2 days, if a ton of people want me to continue the challenge, I'll do that. But I'm guessing that, that this video and this effort will be lost into the void of the YouTube annals of, double-digit views, and nothing will really come of this. And it's a little bit disappointing because I had a lot of excitement and hype for this challenge myself, because I find it very impressive, but I really failed to occupy the position of the other and think about how the average YouTuber would receive this challenge, where this challenge is effectively squatting 150 pounds 250 times or whatever it is, and that is, from a viewer experience perspective, just pretty awful. I can't actually think of something more boring to watch in terms of strength sports, than watch someone do 40 sets of super unimpressive weight squats. And I'm not going to pretend that the weight I'm doing is impressive. I'm not. I also don't think you can do it. You can have the intensity high, the frequency high, or the volume high. And right now, the frequency and the volume are sky high because it's everyday squatting 40,000 pounds, so the intensity has to be really low. It's from a viewer perspective. I'm also not editing down every clip. Right now, you get to see me walk up, and I could edit that down, but I don't know. I guess I probably should. That's probably where I should put my focus, is in the editing, rather than just jacking in a whole bunch of effort into squatting 250,000 pounds a week. But yeah, from a viewer experience perspective, this watching this the same movement over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it's not. It is a sharp dissociation from the actual experience of squatting over and over and over and over and over, which involves quite a bit of grit, and it was a bit of a novel experience, because every workout, when I started it, I was like, there's no way I can do this workout, and I just did one set after the other, and it was only till, I think literally every workout, it was only on my third set, I'm like, okay, I can do this. This is manageable. This is within the realm of possibility. Every single one felt impossible, which breaking through that feeling of impossibility, that felt great. And perhaps that's the appeal of such a challenge like this, because it's it's not useful at no point I want anyone to think that I'm advocating for this type of training as a way to achieve any end. I would not prescribe this for any specific goal. Just doing 40 sets of really lightweight squats. There's nowhere where I would recommend that, but other than to maybe cause pain, I don't know. And so I think this might be my last video of this. It's kind of what I'm all wrapping this up and kind of saying here, is that, I guess the challenge defeated me, perhaps is one perspective, another is just, the two things I was hoping to get from the challenge I either got or I don't think are forthcoming. If I want to advance, and this is of course some sort of meta thing, I don't think it's a smart strategy to talk about YouTube strategy and YouTube videos when I'm doing it here now, so, but I feel, at the same time I feel compelled to do it from just being an open and authentic perspective. But I think if I'm trying to make progress on YouTube, continuing with this challenge is actually bad. I think I've lost subs while I was doing this challenge. Instead of just like gaining subs, you know, doing my thing where I just record like the heavy lifts and I post the heavy lifts on YouTube and then that's it, and not recording like full workouts or like this super light stuff. So like in terms of I just don't feel too much to be gained from, you know, sticking with it. You know, I think my biggest motivation to stick with it now is I said I was gonna do it, and I said, you know, I was like only gonna stop for an injury, but man, my fucking knees and legs hurt, man, like a lot, and I'm not getting what I want, and then on the engagement front, and it's what is it? I mean, I really think I can just do this. Oh, here you can tell I'm feeling the pain so bad. Like I have bruises on my abdomen from the belt at this point, so I just like can't wear anything, which is like frustrating a little bit. It is what it is, whatever, you know. So now the belt's off. Almost done with the workout though. In my head, I also like recognize this might be the last workout I end up doing. The squats are a little high. I'm just so tired here. You can see the sweats like fully down my shirt too. Like every single workout is like that. The first and second were just like 3-hour grinders. I didn't have an appreciation for how little time I could take on the recovery. Because normally I'm used to doing really, really high intensity squats, which you have to take very long rests. But this is very much not that. It's the opposite of that. You can almost do it every minute on the minute, and like blast it out in an hour and 20 or whatever. In fact, getting cold between the sets is like actually like how you make it really, really difficult, I think. Anyways, getting close to the end here. If you liked, feel free to juice my algo with the like, comment, subscribe, that sort of thing. You know, maybe give a thought to just doing a couple sets of really low intensity squats, adding like them to your program just to like buffer out some volume and like work out some kicks. I think there's some value to it, you know. And have a good one, as this is the very last squat.